Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Masterclass. I'm John Tenaglia. Today we're going to have our first international singer, Soprano Margarita Gushchha, coming from Moscow. Her panelists are Melanie Sarakatsannis, Barbara, George Hogan, Richard Barrett, and Stephen Lord. Please sit back and enjoy the live singing. Okay, Margarita, thank you so much. All right. Is your accompanist? What is her name?
Vara.
Varga. Okay, thank you. Tell her thank you very much. That was very beautiful. Okay, can we start with, I'm going to start to my right, please, and start with Mr. George Hogan, please.
Hey, first of all, bravo. What a lovely, lovely voice you have. And you're a beautiful Juliet, so that makes it even more pleasing. I want to say, from a vocal perspective, I loved all of your vowels. I thought you had a great low breath control. such a open sound in that body, which was very impressive. So I love the energy that you had in the intro. I'd like to see you carry that energy over into the aria. It seemed to kind of step back a little bit as opposed to come forward and bloom even more. So I'd really like to see a little bit more of the desire and in your face, of the rapture that you're feeling right now. Does that make sense? And so I know there's a lot of other panelists, and I never sang this aria. It was always too low for me. So I want to ask Maestro Lord a question, though. Maestro, what is the current tempo for this aria? Is it a bit faster? I'm just curious.
Well, first of all, George, remember when we did this opera together?
Yes, I do.
In Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, that's right. No, this is a waltz in one. It's all negotiable, but it's a fine tempo for it. I think she wants it to go a little faster. She was signaling to her pianist, but
Right.
Margarita, that's up to you. Don't signal to your pianist, just go. Your pianist is very good and she'll
Yes.
follow you. Just go.
Absolutely.
And
So
that's
that was
what
the other thing I was going to comment on, Margarita, is just trust yourself and fly. Fly with what you feel, and you do have an excellent accompanist there. And anyway, that's all I have to say. Lovely job. Thank you.
Great, George. Thank you very much. Can we go back down to Melanie, please?
Hi, Margarita. What a beautiful voice you have. Have you done this role before? I'm just curious.
Role whole part?
Yes.
No, I sang a second aria.
the suicide.
Dieu, quel frisson.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can imagine you singing this whole part. It's just beautiful, beautiful in your voice, and what, like George said, a beautiful open sound. You have a really good control of it. Can I ask how old you are? I don't know much about you. Are you in school, out of school?
I'm 23.
Wow.
Wow. That
And-
is a well-developed voice at 23.
Thank you. Thank you. I graduated from college in Omsk in Siberia, and now I study in Moscow at the University of Theater Arts
Oh, fantastic.
on musical theater faculty, opera
Okay.
opera theater.
Thank you. I always like to know the age of our singers. Your voice is just so beautifully developed. I don't know who you're studying with, but they're doing a wonderful job. I only have one thing to say. With a lot of agility in an aria, you need to just do more with it as far as dynamics. I need more crescendos, decrescendos, messe di voces. There's a lot you can do in this aria with all of these runs, because right now you got all the notes, but you need to do something with it so it's more expressive. And I admire you because I've sung this aria. I've never done the role, but I've sung this aria hundreds of times, and I never felt that I could master it. And I think you're so close. If you just give us a little more expressiveness in your runs, it's going to be perfect. And that's all.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely agree about dynamic. Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie. Okay, can we go to Barbara Tever, please?
Thank you for, and beautiful ease that you have with presenting your voice and yourself, your personality. It's just lovely. So I congratulate you on that. I agree 125% with Melanie about the dynamics, especially as you begin the runs. You have a great technique, hold of your technique for your age at this point. Now you should start to layer on the elegant, the final elegant layers of being able to trust your dynamic range and some of the colors. I was hoping for a little bit of a change as the minor section came, that we might hear more of, a smokiness of sound, just, I'm a deep mezzo, so I can't do it at all, but just a change of color in certain sections lets us know that you're not just performing what's on the page, but that you're living the total musical immersion of how the piece is composed, and also how the text is set in the composition for bringing the character up off the page. Right now you're doing everything that's on the page, and then it's time to layer all of these things. Your French is very good. I would watch out for comme un trésor. Un, deux, trois. Right? Un. And it's a hard sound for us as singers. And many times it comes out comme un trésor, like come on. Comme un trésor. You can do it. I know you can. And then just so many beautiful things. Be trusting in those runs. I want to hear you start a little softer and then really blossom on the top. This one word, I made a little bit of a note where you have respire. Usually you know what that word means. And so we want to hear your breath flutter a little bit, or a color. It's once again, it's a color. Respire la rosa da di. We want to hear as if, you know, you're just, it's inside of you, that a new thought of how you use your voice. Beautiful, beautiful job. So I think that's all I have to say. Just keep going and keep perfecting your technique and put on the layers from the professional people that you work with. And I look forward to hearing you again.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, can we go to the handsome Richard Barrett, please?
So great to see you again, as always. And you look so much better when you smile like you are right now. But your voice is in good shape. I'm glad to hear that, because all the times we've worked, I've just seen a progressive change. You getting better and better. At 23, you got to be careful. Your voice is beautiful. You're beautiful. Just stay the course and you're going to be just fine. So they said, look, you have one of the best voices I've heard in a long time. You're young. You're beautiful. You can do this. And I'm trying everything I can to get her into this country. But with this COVID-19, it's just impossible. And visas and this and that. So if anybody do, it's 8 o'clock there, right? 8:30 at night? What time is it? Yeah. Okay. Very good. I love you, as always.
I love it too, Richard. You know it.
Thank you, Richard.
Love you more. Right.
I don't like him at all, but that's besides the point. Maestro, you heard it. Please, Stephen.
Margarita. This was wonderful. I've done this opera many, many, many times. So, you know, there are things I want to say. You want to be careful. You had word problems on Puis viens là, ou l'on pleure. Did you forget the words or something there?
Which word?
Puis viens là, où l'on pleure, le cœur dans l'amour. I don't know. The words weren't clear there. Anyway, that's okay. You know, the aria does not belong in the opera. This aria was added at the end because the original Juliet could not sing the other aria. It was too heavy. And so they added this aria in a higher key, in G. You're singing it in F.
Yeah.
And Mirella Freni sang it in E flat. When she sang it on the stage, she sang it very low, you know. So you did this great. Couple hints musically. First of all, it's laughing. And so it's je veux vivre dans ce, but you're telling though, dans ce, you're making the long note an accent, but you're laughing. Those are not the accents. The short notes are the accents. Okay? Capito?
Yeah.
Okay. A little thing about this section, Loin de l'hiver morose. You know, I think it's marked, I don't have the music, but I think it's marked un peu plus vite, mais très peu. Is that what it says?
Un peu moins vite, mais très peu.
Exactly. Un peu moins vite, mais très, but you made it very slow. Do you know what I mean? It really is just a little bit slower. Da da da, loin de l'hiver morose. Laissez-moi. It's not in 3. It's still in 1. Okay.
Okay.
So you want to kind of feel it was really too slow. And at the end of it, there's something you can do to help the conductor and to help everybody. Respirer la rose en vent de les feuillets. The last syllable, les fleurets, the last syllable should have an energy to it that's not connected to the rest of it. Okay? Also,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? De les fleurets, yada, da, 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 because you start laughing again. You're not serious. And actually, in the middle, when you sing de loin de l'hiver morose, she's only 13 years old. She's very young. And it is so sincere. Everything is important. Everything is important until you start to laugh again. I mean, for you to use words like loin de l'hiver morose, that's something that a 13-year-old girl, well, you were a 13-year-old girl once. Everything is important. And when you love, you really love. Do you know what I'm saying? So it needs to be very sincere, but we need to see you being not too sincere at doing it because you're a kid. It's when kids say to their parents, I'm going to go kill myself. They don't mean it. Okay. So you need a little bit more of that. You want to be careful in the beginning. The semitones, they were very good. And one listens for those, but you ran out of air at the end of them. Okay. So you may want to go just a little bit faster on them, so you don't run out of air. You want to, at the end of the aria, that top do, the C, you may want to hit it just a little bit less so that you can let it grow.
Okay.
If you can. I mean, if you
I can.
Yeah, I know you can. And also you need to stay in the if you're offering this for audition, and I never ask for it, but if you're offering this in audition, you need to stay in the mood of the aria through the end of the accompaniment. You kind of went after the top note. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, sure.
And the accompaniment ends as a crescendo in it. Yada yada da 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 dum. Your energy needs to grow during that. Okay, because you're beautiful, and that in itself is a talent. Being beautiful is a talent. There are many people who aren't beautiful, and they have to do other things. But the problem with being beautiful, like Marilyn Monroe or someone, is they always want you to be better than you are now because of your naturalness. So as Richard said, you got to go carefully. You have to go carefully because people will want you to be more than you're able to be right now. I'd do this opera with you. I mean, I would do it. It's very middle voiced, the whole opera. It's actually quite low for the most part. So you need to be very careful that, of that. Stay in the mood to the end. The last couple, right? The key, right? Prévient l'heure, loin de l'hiver, right? Les fleurets. Yes, just keep it laughing.
Okay.
Laughing all the way down. Je veux vivre. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Let go. My pleasure.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay. Margarita, what do you have? What do you have for us next? What would you like to sing for us next?
Maria.
Okay. Great.
Chacun le sait.
Okay, very good.
French again.
Okay.
Chacun le sait,
Brava. Okay, Margarita. Great. Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, can we go in reverse order? And let's start with Maestro Lord, please.
No, Margarita, very good. Excellent. Couple things about this. The cadenza in the beginning, which Donizetti didn't write, as you know, needs to sound improvised. It needs to sound as if you're making it up right then. Okay. And then when you get the things there, you know, GC, blah, blah, blah. You might, in the middle of one of those, because they sound like trumpets, right? You might want to make the trumpet, and then in the middle of it, soft. Yes, okay. It's like you're calling the troops. Anyway, the problem with this aria always is that it's the setting of the rhythm of it. You're always off by 1/2 of a bar. You're always singing chacun le sait, chacun le dit, but it's not. It's chacun le sait, chacun le dit, le régiment. Chacun doesn't mean anything really, you know. Chacun le sait, chacun le dit, okay? But you're going chacun le sait, chacun, but it's not. It's chacun le sait, chacun le dit. It's a bit slow, by the way. Le régiment toute France. When you sing France, it has to be France, okay? When you get to le voilà, le voilà, le voilà, that should be a surprise. That needs to come suddenly. Quand sexe craint, whatever the words are. Et l'autre aime. Il est là, il est là, il est là. It needs that sort of enthusiasm and not il est là. That says that tells the conductor, I know you're a terrible conductor, so I have to bring you in. No. It has to happen like that, okay? Il est là, il est là, il est là. And when you say corde bleu and morbleu, those aren't nice words for a girl to use. They're not nice words, right? But you make them sound like potatoes and carrots. Do you know what I mean? You need to have some little bit of naughtiness, if you know what naughtiness means. I mean, a little bit cattiva, okay? When you say it, you're getting away with saying it because you're around men. You know, le voilà, le voilà, le voilà, corde bleu. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny for a girl to say that, and you enjoy saying dirty words. Okay. Anyway, I think it's too slow. It needs to go a little bit quicker. You're going to say that kind of deal, and then the regiment, right. Ka, sex, cran. You know what crandra means? It means to fear. It
Yeah,
means to be
yeah.
afraid. So you need to use that word. Ka, sex, cran. Et l'autre aime. Okay?
Okay.
Combat does not have a T. You're saying combat. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
combat because it rhymes with soldat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then one more thing. Yes, on your last C, on the last note, you're tending to bring a lot of your beautiful arms. You're tending to bring your arms a lot into the middle of yourself. But you're singing in a big theater. When you have a note like that C, you need to come out from yourself. Do you know what I mean? You didn't. You kind of stayed like this, and you need to. The audience needs it. You know, I remember seeing Joan Sutherland do this many times, this part, and she would just go for it. You know, and so I think you need to, because you're exactly right for it for this part. Do you have an E flat?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you sing the other aria?
No.
Parlerons? That will be very interesting to hear you sing with a cut if you're going to do it.
I sang this one with E flat, but Richard said
Richard is
that.
right. It's too much for this part of the opera. She's a simple girl who's trying to be a grown-up, and she's not. So you have to always remember she's still a kid. So when you say more bleu, bleu, you know, and you enjoy the top do, so you just, you know, sing it like Shirley Temple, if you know who Shirley Temple was.
Yeah.
Do you know who Shirley Temple was? A very famous actress in the 1930s, a little kid. Yeah, this is Shirley Temple. Okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, do you look to be in any programs in Russia?
Now?
Yeah.
No.
Because I hear they do very well in St. Petersburg. The St. Petersburg kids are doing well.
In Mariinsky Theater?
Yeah, a friend of mine teaches there. He teaches all the kids there, and he says there's some very good talent. So anyway, we'll come to the U.S.
Great.
I wanna come to US.
Okay.
I wanna come. I have visa.
Bienvenue. Get here.
We would love to have you. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Can we go back to Maestro Richard Barrett, please?
I'll let you guys talk. I mean, I speak with her all the time, and she hears what I have to say. Stephen's comments were terrific. Melanie's and George, Barbara, all of them. Thank you so much. I mean, I've tried to adopt this child to get her out of Russia, right?
Oh, she's great.
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. That's true, and how true. Okay, can we go to Barbara, please?
This piece, great job again. So many things were said by Maestro Lord. Very, very same things that I wrote down. The beginning cadenza, I did want to hear you be more playful, as if you're making it up, you know? Not as if you're singing what the page tells you to sing. So fool around with that a little bit. And then definitely the direction, the point of the phrase, you know, chacun le sait, chacun le dit. You know, you were singing short, da-dum, short, da-dum, but you look at your music, it's not. It's a quarter note and then shorter notes, okay? So just clean that up because it will make it sound more correct. When you get to il est là, il est là, il est là, morbleu, you know, I wonder if you could try, you're singing very intentionally, you know, and as Maestro Lord said, you don't need this ritornando to show us the tempo, but just go right into it and trust your pianist to catch you. But I wonder if you can think about more of a smile as you sing, il est là, il est là, il est là, and then open up, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like instead of, il est là, il est là, il est là, each one kind of got a little not overly dramatic, but just try that. Like keep it a little tiny. Ilela, ilela, ilela. Try that. Can you sing it like that?
Yeah.
Try it right now. Ilela, ilela.
Mm-hmm.
Just right
Il
there.
est là, morbleu.
Good. So let's make the la. Just keep it a little more close. Ilela, ilela.
Il est là, morbleu.
Well, I don't know about you, but I hear more sparkle in the pitch for la. Okay?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it. And then as you get to the next one, il est là, il est là, il est là, then you're ready to explode. So that one can start a little softer again. This goes back to what we were all saying about the dynamics. So in this, definitely two. When you're with an orchestra, it will be a little different. The piano is the percussive instrument, and with the orchestra, you will find many other textures. But try the next ascending. Il est là, il est là, il est là. Try that one. Start softer and more contained on the ah, and then let it explode. Can you try that? Il est là.
Il est là, il est là.
Good, good. And you did not breathe there. And I thought you should breathe there. After you get up to la, it's characteristic, because
Okay.
as Maestro Lord says, she's very playful character. Very playful. Okay? I wrote down a couple more things, but, one thing that he said is so true. You have to have a presence that is bigger than life. So you're going to have to get your arms out, and you're going to have to imagine yourself taking up the space that you sing in. This is something that we all had to learn, as we started. Not to be emoting this way, and yes, we feel like, oh, we're feeling so much, but feel it out into, oh my gosh, the giant Metropolitan Opera is in front of me. Whatever space is in front of you, take the space. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Okay? I just
Okay,
want
thank
you so you have more fun with that. And don't be shy about it. Okay?
Okay.
So those are my comments, and
Great.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much. Okay, can we go to Melanie, please?
Hi, Margarita. Thank you so much for singing this lovely aria, which another one, that's a role that's perfect for you. I'd love to hear you sing the other aria at some point. Everything has been said, which is pertinent to everything you're doing. I just have a couple little things. First of all, I want her to be more tomboyish, and she was raised by a regiment, so I feel like you could have a little more of that tomboyish feel to your theatricality of it. And she is young, and the arms that Barbara's talking about, command the stage more as a young girl would, right? You're impetuous. One vocal thing on your opening run, keep the integrity of the vowel as you came down, because I know the vowel is ah, but as you came down the run, it went oh ah again. So you want to just keep, stick on that vowel, set it and forget it, so to speak, and don't change it as you go down, up and down through the registers.
Okay.
There was one thing, oh yeah, the final C. Again, I'm coming back to the dynamics of all your runs. You could maybe start it a little bit smaller and then crescendo, something, which would also give you impetus for the arms to do something, big and wide as you crescendo on the high C. Other than that, I'm really enjoying your voice. It's beautiful. It's uncomplicated. I pray you can get to this country, because we could use a singer like you. So I really appreciate you singing for us today, and I wish you all the luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melanie, as usual. Thank you. Okay, can we go to Mr. Hogan, please?
Margarita, wow. What a voice, and I agree with Melanie. Your voice is so natural and mellifluous. Bravo to your accompanist as well. We have a saying in the United States, you're only as good as your accompanist, and you have a fine one there. And also, thank you, Richard. Some really great work there, man. So obviously all of my colleagues have have suggested so many great things, and I would also echo that you should work with Maestro Lord when you get to the States. You'll find that he has a great amount of knowledge, especially in your repertoire. Now, both of these roles are young ladies, but they're both different, yes? And so I want you to try to bring out a little bit more of the character without compromising your wonderful vocal technique and your vocal health, all right? But I think you can stretch those boundaries a little bit. It's always better to sing great first, but I do think that you can do both. And Melanie is also right about bringing out that tomboy girl in this. So you're in the Army. Yeah, you're a girl, but you're in charge, dadgummit, and all these guys run around, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, So also, I'm used to a little different intro, not that it's a big deal, but I love the energy that comes out of the other one, la, 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 la. I don't know, it just kind of calls everybody in. It's almost like a revelry, right? And but I'd like to see you start with a little different physical position than you did in the Juliet. Yeah, so maybe your feet a little more shoulder width apart, the stance, so that you can kind of get that strong, tomboy, militaristic posture to some extent. Not that I want you to be tight and tense. You still need to remain organic and relaxed as you sing, but to give that strong posture to everyone. Also, much of your notes are connected in a really beautiful legato part with the breath. And I'd love to hear a little bit more iteration. Barbara had brought up the il est là. That's one thing. I have commas after all of these. And so also you've got that iteration, but you've also got the reiteration of that text. And it should be a little different and with a little different or deeper meaning, certainly more energy each time. Il est là, il est là, il est là. It needs to come out and keep blossoming. So, I know it's Donizetti, but it's not Anna Bolena or Maria Stuarda, right? So maybe sometimes the bow is always heavy. I would let it bounce a little bit if that makes sense. Make some different, weight in your voice, if you will. So for me, more variety. Your legato is most impressive, but at times maybe going for a little detached or textually more expressive under that overarching legato phrasing, yes? But anyway, thank you for singing today. Man, you possess such a fabulous voice. I wish you all the best. And so stay strong, keep singing, stay positive, and viva la Margarita.
Thank you.
John,
Thank you.
can I add
Yes.
can I add one thing for her?
Absolutely, please.
Where is la? You say it 3 times.
Yeah.
Il est là, il est là, il est là. It can be straight ahead or it can be 3 places. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So you may want to think about that. And the other thing, just when they were talking about breath and how you're standing, one thing I tell people, you want to think in the theater that your air is not coming from here. It's coming from the back of the theater. You need to take a breath that comes from the last row, not from here. It's a concept, but it will open you up and make you envelop the room just a little bit more. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Sure.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Stephen, and thank you, George. Okay, Margarita, I have just one question for you. Actually, a couple, but I'm going to phrase it a couple of different ways. How much do you love singing?
This is my life.
Thank you. That's the answer. And what as a singer that needs to bring this to life is that I would love to hear you as how much you really do love what you're doing. And what happens is that you're going to, as a character, your love for this art is going to give you the forward impetus of becoming the character and becoming free and being able to take a chance. This whole business is chances. I mean, it really is. Don't be afraid that you're either right or wrong, because your expression is your opinion, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, most people would criticize something that I did on stage, and I would say, tough shit, that's the way I wanted to do it. So, I mean, to be quite frank, but don't ever be afraid to take that chance, because you have a glorious voice. You have a perfect physical characterization for the roles that you're going to play. Don't ever, ever, ever be afraid of letting your emotions and your physicality and your personality show through the music, because that's what's going to bring it to life. If not, what you do is you tape it, and you can put the phone to the microphone and just let it play. Otherwise, I think that you have a marvelous instrument, and you wouldn't have this much interest and these in-depth comments if these people didn't believe in your talent. So I want you to know that the little that hopefully that this is going to do for you is to get you seen, and I hope that this platform is exactly what it's built for, is to get talent like yours out there and singing. And I thank you so much for doing this and taking the time. I know it's probably 9 or 9:30 there in Russia. So again, if there's anything any of us can do for you, please reach out. I mean, we're all willing. If you have questions or whatever, you can reach out by email, call, text, messaging. We'll be happy to help you. And I wish you the best of luck. And I think that you have a tremendous, tremendous talent. And I can't wait to buy a ticket to hear you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to listen to me.
Margarita, thank you so much. It was an honor to hear you sing. Please do not stop singing, and we will try to do our best for you.